Hey guys, before we start this video, I wanted to preface it with the fact that this is not a personal finance-esque video. This is more of a self-development, kind of like inward focused, motivational type video that I hope helps somebody. But if you want to see more content like this, let me know down below in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think. If you want to see more content like this, or if it doesn't even make any sense, or if it's not even needed, I would definitely love to hear your thoughts. All right, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play the video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Let's Make a Mill, as well as my own personal blog, letsmakeamill.com. Today's video, I want to kind of get off the topics of personal finance, real estate, and investing in the stock market, and kind of talk about a self-development, maybe a motivational topic. I've come, if you saw my last video where I am talking about purchasing a triplex, I had pretty much a whole segment in there where I was ranting and venting about, kind of fighting with myself and not sure if I wanted to take the risk and things like that. But I finally came to a conclusion where I'm going to move forward. And I kind of wanted just to make a separate video on that very same topic, because I think this is something that, or at least I feel like this is not something that's really talked about. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Eugen Vasquez. I'm the host of the channel, and basically I'm documenting my journey towards making $1 million. I'm fully transparent in everything I do. I invest in real estate, I invest in the stock market, and I invest in REITs such as Fundrise, and any other type of investment vehicle that I find appealing to me. I will talk about it fully transparent on this video, or I'm sorry, on this channel. So without further ado, let's talk about taking risks and how to overcome your fear. So one thing, if you looked at my last video on the triplex, I had this long segment where I was just kind of talking about fighting myself. I wasn't sure, I was scared about the unknown. Basically, I was filling my head with all the possibilities, all the negative possibilities that could come out of purchasing this triplex. I wasn't filling myself with positive think like I was at the beginning of the week, right? And basically, I almost got cold feet and put this deal to the side and killed the deal and say, I don't want to do it anymore, right? Because I was scared. I was going to be investing in something I've never invested in with a large enough cash investment that would leave me sort of vulnerable, because I usually invest in things that I'll have a large enough cash cushion in case the worst case scenario happens. But in this particular instance, although I would still have a cushion, it would not be a large enough cushion that I would personally want. But that snowballed into even more negative thinking and then more negative scenarios. And as if you read my blog, I talk about fear. Fear is basically you're scared of the unknown, and then you start filling yourself with scenarios that haven't even happened, right? And then that usually spirals out of control and creates almost a depression or a fear of doing anything, right? You're not going to even take up a challenge because you're so fearful. But I was able to get past that. Ended up talking to a friend, and he kind of just pushed me along and said, like, it sounds like you need permission to purchase this asset. Like, you already have your mind made up, and that was true. So after he said that, he said, go do it. And I sent the email, say, hey, I'd like to purchase this asset. So fear has two meanings that I found, and it's a quote by Zig Ziglar. Fear means you can either forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise, right? It's a very good quote, I think, very good acronym for the tool belt, because it really puts a lot of things into perspective. Like, I had prepared for this asset. I had done the numbers myself. I had looked at the environment. I had looked at the local area. I had read so much on the forums. I had done my own research. I've done the numbers. Like, I've done everything, but this fear almost made me want to run, like just forget everything and run, just forget about it. Instead of trying to rise up to the challenge that this asset will produce or possibly produce, and the positive outcomes that can come from this asset. I wasn't thinking about that, and it was really screwing with me over this last week. So, that aside, one thing that really came to mind was, things that seem hard, they're not really all that hard. We just make them hard. challenges are good. They build up a person, they build you up, they make you more well-rounded. You really should embrace challenges, whether it's in your own professional career, at your job, or in your investing, or whatever. You at least I do. I've risen up to challenges in my own professional career, and that has made all the difference because it's gotten me to new levels of success that I've always wanted. It got me to new levels of success and meeting new people, elevating my game. And I got to mentor a lot of great people along the way, and I've got to meet a lot of great people who I've learned something from along the way as well. And all this, has been experience that I put in the tool belt and I can use at a later time and date. So I embrace the challenges, or at least I try to embrace as many challenges as possible. I'm almost not scared to do anything, just because of all the experience I have in just dealing with stuff and dealing with challenges, right? And I relate all this to, making $1 million, because it is a challenge. It is a risk. You could buy faulty investments that turn south. You could invest into a house and get tenants that don't pay you for a whole year, and it could financially ruin you. There's a lot of challenges, a lot of risk with this. But looking at the flip side, there's a lot of investments out there that can make you a lot of money. Investing into real estate is a long-term investment that can build your wealth over time. You could get returns in the form of rent. Like there's tax benefits. There's a lot of good things out there. It's just, when people are faced with these challenges, they only think of the negativity, and that really screws up people, and that screwed me up. So one thing I really want to talk about is trusting your ability, or at least I trust my ability to succeed and win. Like I trust my ability to succeed and win. I know I've prepped myself. I know I'm mentally tough. I know I have a good mental positive attitude. And I know I can overcome any challenge that comes my way, and I have a huge support group to thank for that. I have mentors, I have friends, I have family, and I have all these people's experiences in the form of books. So if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have friends that are working at your level, or a support group that can help you at this level or the level you want to be at, go find those people, one. Or two, read about those people. These books that are on Amazon, Kindle, whatever, these are books of people's life experience for a price of like $7.95, right? Or even $10. Like this is their whole life experience, summed up in a book. I've read so many real estate books out there that it's almost removed, and I say almost, it's almost removed the fear of investing, because I'm able to pull from the experience of people who've invested in multifamilies, who've invested in single families, who've invested in commercial real estate, who've invested into real estate investment trusts on the stock market, who've invested in the stock market. I'm able to pull all their experiences, so it makes me almost it doesn't scare me when I start investing in these things, or when I'm faced with these challenges, because I know these other people have faced a similar challenge, have faced a similar obstacle, and they've overcome it to become successful. And if you don't have mentors, access to those kinds of people, whatever, there's also forums available. Like Reddit is a good one. I don't personally use Reddit, but a lot of people get great information from Reddit. Bigger Pockets is a fantastic resource for all things real estate, and even some things stock market. I've read a lot of posts on Bigger Pockets about investing in single family, investing in multifamily homes, where I could post a question and I'm going to get someone with experience, someone who's invested in hundreds of houses or hundreds of multifamily, or invested in commercial real estate, that's going to give me some life advice for free, and that's just invaluable, so when I hear people say that they don't have those mentors, they don't have those friends, it's like you're not searching hard enough. You need to go look for that stuff. So, having mentors, having friends, having family, having, resources like books and forums, use them to grow yourself. Okay. So when I was going through this triplex deal, I was reading, I actually finished 2 books this week. but it was Zig Ziglar's Born to Win and Josh Kaufman's How to Fight a Hydra. And, in How to Fight a Hydra, he's basically saying that the Hydra is a challenge. You need to look at it as a metaphor. The hero is going to go on this adventure, i.e. me, I'm going on this adventure to, purchase a real estate asset. I come across the Hydra, i.e. the triplex, and the challenges that come along with it. The hero needs to prepare, mentally make himself tough, needs to come up with a plan, i.e. I need to have a plan in place. I need to make sure that I know what I'm doing. I need to seek out those resources that are going to be able to help me make a good purchase of this property, right? If this property makes sense or not. So it was a really good book that put a lot of things into perspective for me. Born to Win was super encouraging. It's like, you got to trust yourself. You got to fill your mind with positive speak. You can do this. There's nothing different from you to someone who's successful. The only difference is the person who's successful, took the risk or decided to move forward with something. They're no smarter than you or I. It's just some individuals who are operating at these higher levels, they just have a grand vision. They hold themselves to a higher accountable standard, and I think that's what's important, is that anyone can be successful. Or anyone can win. It's just, you got to put in that effort. So, I also want to talk about filling your mind with positive possibilities. So, in a lot of books out there, there's Magic of Thinking Big. There's Think and Grow Rich. These kind of books. It's really comes down to the mindset. If you have positive mindset and you could think of the positive possibilities that can come from your decision making, then the sky's the limit. You just have to believe yourself. You just have to have that vision of pursuing whatever it is to complete that objective, whatever that objective may be. Maybe it's to reach $1,000 in the stock market, to save. And then you start working on strategies on lowering your cost of living. You start allocating more money different ways. Then eventually you reach that $1,000. Boom, what's the next milestone? That goalpost needs to move, right? What's the next goal? You reach 10,000. Okay, you reach 10,000. Now what? Now you're going to go for 25, then 50, then 100, then 200, then a million. You're going to just keep moving that goalpost. And as you keep moving that goalpost, your strategies that you'll implement will change over time. But you have to fill your head with those possibilities. Like how happy would you look if you had $1 million, or how happy would you look if you closed that first house deal? How would you look if how would your life change if you were starting to make passive income in this amount of money? And then you kind of think of the strategies you want to employ to start making that money or start making those moves, right? So another great thing about the experience and everything else is that you get to learn from their mistakes too. Like, so on Bigger Pockets, I was reading a lot about the area that I'm investing in this triplex, and I was able to pull all these people's experience. A lot of it was positive, and there's people who are actually active real estate investors in that particular area, and they say it's good. It's what would stop you? It's silly not to invest in this area. So I decided, I'm leaning on their experience. I'm leaning on their mistakes, on their wins and successes, and I'm gonna do it. I'm going to pursue that asset. So, one other thing, to close up this whole video, because I could rant on about this forever. Take the dive. Just do it. I almost want to cuss in this video, but just freaking do it. Just take the dive. Learn from your mistakes if you come across any. Of course, go unprepared, but learn from your mistakes, right? And stay humble in your successes, all right? If you close a house and the house works out well, or you close an investment, or you invest in a stock that, just starts increasing over time, don't think like that was the end all be all and you're a prodigy and you're never going to make another mistake. Remain humble in your own journey, because if you don't, I can promise you that you will fail and it will hurt real bad, because you're going to let your hubris get in front of you, your ego get in front of you, and you're going to make a very grand mistake. So always remain humble in your successes. don't make your successes seem like it's the biggest thing ever, because relative to my success, relative to like a millionaire or someone who's a multimillionaire, my success is very small, but it's incremental and it's growing, and I know it's going to grow as long as I remain humble. I keep investing in these assets very slowly, and I'm not taking these large risks or anything like that. So with all that said, hope you guys enjoyed this video about taking a risk and facing your fear. And I hope this provides some value to you guys out there. Let me know in the comments below if you liked it, dislike it, don't care. Just let me know. Hit the subscribe post, notification bell, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks.